Last week on the Warriors Den.
As we mentioned, you definitely want to tune in to next week's show. It will contain a big announcement. No bullshit. So you're going to want to watch it. Yeah. And it's not about new heroes. And it's so big, I made a note of this, it's so big, Ramon's coming back from his vacation just to do the Warriors Den.
That's dedication.
I think I've sold it enough at this point.
That's dedication. That's dedication.
That's dedication. That's dedication.
No, one of my stupid ideas come to life, as always. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Warriors Den. We're here. It's a big show.
Hi, guys.
The entire Montreal internet is down, but we found one line, so we're out on Twitch. Sorry to people who like to watch on Facebook and YouTube. That's not happening this week. But what is happening this week is a big show. That's not a joke. So I'm going to blast through the news of the week so we can get into the meat. The meat of what we are here to talk about, gentlemen. Damien, Roman are here. So this week, Public Test 2 is live right now. It went live this morning. If you're a PC player, you can play it, and we want you to because it's got revisions to the dual ranked tournament, which are based off the previous one. And it's all the defensive meta changes that Roman went through last week on the show. And if you missed that, you can watch that, or you can go to forhonorgame.com. On the blog, our fight team wrote a really detailed post about those changes. So I recommend you check that out and then test the shit out of that this weekend. It's free, and like I said, if you're PC, you can access it. Also today, patch 1.10 is now out on PC. That was delayed a couple days after the console release, which happened on Tuesday. So for once, console got something first. We did it just for you guys. If you want the patch notes, go to forhonorgame.com/patch notes for that. It was a stability focused patch, but there are a few interesting things there, including we fixed the unlock tech that people have been seeing and using in our lovely tournaments. You might have also noticed our t-shirts. Camera 2, maybe get it on Damien. So yes, we have winners. The Samurai have won, and we printed out shirts because why not? And in fact, if you stick around towards the end of the show, you might get a chance of winning one of these delicious shirts. And also, I wanted to show you this other shirt here. Bring it over here. We did print out versions for the Knights as well, had they won the faction war. Further evidence that the faction war is not rigged.
At least we tried and we failed.
Yes. So anyway, I'm not going to get into that. If you're in the community, you already know what I'm talking about. It's been a fun 24 hours. Also this week, new content. There's a Blizzard mood effect for 5,000 steel, idle, execute, and emote effect for all heroes. We have a very quick video, and then we're going to get into the business. So hit it, X. Please. I would love for you to roll the video, Max. Yep. How are you guys? You're back. Boom shakalaka. This shirt reminds me of NBA Jam for some reason. They sort of have like the big heads. Pascal made these. If you guys love Pascal, give him a shout out. He made these shirts.
Some love you.
Apparently, he told me it was a well-known French comic artist. All I know is Tintin, so I didn't know who it was. But
It's not the same guy.
it's not the same guy, clearly. But let's get into the shit, guys. We got good news. We've got a thing that we want to communicate to you, and we're going to do it right now via the magic of PowerPoint and Damien Keegan.
Yes.
And Roman.
And Roman, of course. So we can look at the
Cut
PowerPoint
over.
right now. So yes, we're about to reveal and show the roadmap of the game in the coming months. So
Yes.
Not only speaking about season 3, but also what's coming next.
Great.
From now until the end of the year.
Yeah,
Through
exactly.
the end of the year, what's
Through the
happening
end of
on
the
For
year.
Honor?
And before we do that, because we always like creating some happening, is want to go back to what we did so far, for the people who knows, people who don't know. So we did many patches. I think it's more than 12 patches on several different topics. Improvements of the games, of course. So we improved the quality of life in the game. So quit penalty, the detection of AFK players. We improved the anti-cheat also. We don't want to have any cheat into PvP. We improved, we did some balancing. So we increased the amount of steel we give to the players. Same thing for the XP. We've revamped the gear stat system. Same thing for the orders that has been done a few weeks ago. And we also started our public tests. The next one being
Right now.
right now. We do a lot of hero balancing continuously, as you can know on each wire, then we speak about that.
Yes.
We've done some improvement on the matchmaking too, with the skill display in the face-off and things like that, and also how it works in the back end. And we've added the colorblind mode. And on the content-wise, we did the first season,
Yep.
the two first seasons, in fact, the two with the Centurion and the Shinobi, the two new maps, introduced the epic rarity, and many new content with our weekly releases, so mythic outfits, effects, and things like that. But now let's go to what's
I like that
coming
transition,
next.
wow.
See? PowerPoint skills. So, of course, we will keep continue what we're doing now. Design adjustments on the fight, on the hero balancing, and also on the progression if it needs to, or whatever else is raised by the community or raised by the data.
By the what?
The data.
Oh, okay.
The technical improvements also, so the stability of the game, matchmaking, things like that. And we will continue to add new content, so weekly new content, but also new features, new heroes and map with the season, and new game modes, and we might speak about that. So, two seasons.
my.
First season, season 3, will start in August, will finish in November. You wanna, yeah.
What are we going to do in the next season? So all of the things that I'm gonna explain right now are not necessarily come at the launch of the season, but it's gonna be spread across the season.
Okay.
So yes, you've already been testing it. Now it's gonna go live in season 3. We'll have the dual tournament feature with ranking. We have the fight system updates that during season 3 we are gonna test in public test server. So we have the first one running right now, and for sure there's gonna be at least another one
Yep.
before we go live and deploy to all the consoles and PC. Then of course there's gonna be the new content of the season, the 2 new heroes that we're not gonna speak about today, right?
Correct.
Next week.
Next week,
And
though.
the 2 new maps that we're not gonna speak about today, but that are pretty cool actually, with some new twists. It's interesting. And we raised the reputation level cap to
40.
40.
With exclusive rewards that will be given at each new reputation level.
So
Alright.
more reward associated to the progression, new level cap. We add a new level of rarity for armor and weapons.
It's the last one, in
Legendary.
fact, and it's the legendary one.
This is the last one for now.
The last one, yeah.
Yes.
And it's called green shiny internally.
Green
Green
shiny.
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 It's green shiny and it's coming this August.
I prefer legendary.
And of course, we'll continue to add new emotes, new executions, new outfits, new ornaments, new content for your favorite
Try
heroes.
to do it every week if we can.
And also, during the season, we'll continue to have regular updates on balancing, on bug fixes, etc. Just like as we did in the previous season, we'll continue to have the same type of reason for the next season. Then, season 4. between November and February. What's next? So we'll have the new PvP game mode, a new 4v4 PvP game mode that will come with the new season. And it's going to be a full game mode. It's not going to be an event like Realistic Dominion. It's going to be a full new game mode.
Great.
So more on that later. We'll also be extended the ranked to 4v4. Not through tournaments, but you will be able to play ranked match in 4v4 and have a ranking in 4v4.
Delightful.
Yes. We will release, actually in season 4, there will be a focus on training and tutorials. And one part of that is the training arena. So we are going to revamp the training arena to actually make it a real feature. And you will be able to spawn any bot that you want in that arena, and you will be able to modify their behavior. If you want to train against a specific move or a specific combo or a specific chain or those kind of things, you will be able to do it. So let's say you want to train against the Warden Vortex, you spawn the Warden, you select the moves of the Vortex, and you will repeat it indefinitely, and you will be able to face it. And if you want to be invulnerable and have infinite stamina, to be able to train in that mode, you will be able to do it, etc. You will be able to display your moves. All the regular stuff of good training arena, that's coming starting off in season 4, and it's a feature that we'll introduce, and then that we will have grow through the rest of the game.
Cool.
Fight system updates. Depending on how goes the test server during season 3, we plan to release it during season 4, not necessarily at launch of season 4, but during season 4. New tutorial. So as I was saying, there's a focus on accessibility for that season. We will revamp the on-ramp of the game. So not only we're gonna do better tutorials, like with more interesting situation, etc., but most importantly, the new tutorials will show all the skills of the game. Like for example, deflecting is not a skill that is currently being tutorialized in the game. That is going to go in. And all the situation to train better with those skills will be in that new on-ramp. So that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's our guys in Gobo in the UK doing that.
Shout out to Gobo.
Then of course, with the launch of the new season, we will have 2 new heroes, 2 new maps. That are fucking cool. Can't tell about that at the moment.
We're not revealing those next week. No.
Shit. And new weapons, and new armor variation, new gear for your character. No new rarity level, but new gear, new visuals.
So this means within the existing levels, there will be new.
Yeah, and new stats also.
New stats?
Not new stats, but
New
new
stat
values,
bundles.
new values of stats and things like that.
And new emotes, new execution, new outfits, new ornaments, and of course, all the regular patches and balancing. So as you can see, the next 6 months, the next 2 seasons, we really pack a lot of content, and we demonstrate real commitment to that game. We did not ship something and went on holiday, even if actually I'm on holiday.
This is your holiday.
Very nice holiday.
Our goal, it's like we said from the beginning, it's our goal. It's
Max, give us
do
a dramatic
something.
camera cut to Ramon right now. Boom. Yes.
our goal. It's really
it.
to push that game for the long term. We didn't want it to ship it and then see you. We've been supporting it since the launch of the game. We've been updating it. We've been fixing it. That's going to continue in season 3 and season 4. And actually, it's not finished. If we can go back to the presentation, please. Because we are also going to switch network architecture. Because we want to continue to improve the game. And improving the game goes with also improving all the session stability and connectivity issues that we currently have, that we will continue to work on. Since we really want to fix that, we are going for dedicated server. So
Can you say that
how
ag-
is that gonna work?
Say that again?
Damien?
Say that again. What are we doing?
We are going to dedicated server. And it's really because we want what's best for that game, and we want it to grow, and we want it to improve. and it's not a skeleton crew working on that game. We are dedicated to make it better, and we're going with that. Please, Daniel.
Okay.
Whew.
So let's
Before
go
you
in
start,
the-
I just
yeah,
want to.
yeah.
I had a whole thing worked out where I was going to do a spit take when he said dedicated servers, and Max didn't cut to me. All right, let's get into the details. Sorry.
Okay, so I will try to answer the obvious questions that
Yes.
comes when we announce that, and that we had internally as soon as we said internally that we want to make the move. So why do we make that decision now? So basically, to do some history on the game, after we launched the game, we discovered some new online challenges that we really didn't clearly see during closed alpha, closed beta, etc. Because we did a lot of live periods before we launched the game. And it's really a problem that came strong after the launch. And that we worked our ass on it. We worked really hard to fix the stability. So it's stability and connectivity issues, mostly happening in 4v4. It's not something you see in duel, for examples. So it's mostly impacting our 4v4 modes. It's also not impacting everyone the same way. So depending on the platform you play, but also depending on your connection quality, in which country you are, etc. Some players have more problems than others. Some players never had any problems since the launch on the game, so it's not fair, but that's how it is. So we worked a lot on it. We did some improvement. We did many patches on it. The last ones being
this week?
This week.
Yes.
Yeah. And at one point, we decided to take a step back to look at the improvement we've done and what was going on, and also to ask ourselves the big question is, what if we change the architecture? What would it make? What would it bring, etc. And after doing a full study analysis of our improvements, what were the problems we were having, etc., the team decided to say, okay, we will do the dedicated servers. That's the best solution for the game in the long term.
And on all platforms.
And on all platforms, of course. So what's the benefits? Of course, we want to improve the stability in 4v4. So that's one of the big benefits. And then you have other obvious benefits with dedicated servers. One being that you don't have to manage your NAT anymore. It's something we ask you. We ask you to be open NAT if possible, because that's better for the matchmaking. That's better when you send information to other players and things like that. It's not something you care about when you have a server architecture. You don't have any more session host migration because the sessions are hosted by the server. So it's also something that won't occur anymore as soon as we have that. But also for us, it's really for the long term. So it's also making an infrastructure that will help us go where we want to go with Foreigner, because we have many things in development we want to do for the future, and that are impacted right now by our current architecture, and that will benefit the migration to the dedicated servers. So one of the obvious questions is to say, okay, you're doing the move, but what's going on right now with the current infrastructure? So what people have to know is that so part of the team is still working on improving the peer-to-peer infrastructure.
In fact, there's 2 teams now, right?
So they are all in the online team,
right?
But some resources are dedicated to the dedicated servers, and another part, the other resources are still working on the peer-to-peer improvements. We there is room of improvements.
Yep.
We know where we want to go. We know what we can do. For example, we introduced routers for the dual tournaments. That's also help for the NAT management, for example. So we have ways to improve what we have today.
The important thing here is it's not because we're making the switch that we are not continuing to support and try to improve what is
current, yeah.
currently live. Because that switch is going to take some time, and for the duration of that switch, we want the game to continue to evolve, and we want to continue to make it better. So we are still working on improving those elements while we switch, and we have also a full team working on the switching to dedicated server.
Yeah. So for example, so we're improving the tracking as well. So for example, I was discussing with the team, I think something I can share. Now we have a full profiling. So when people have crashes on their session, we have a full profiling of what happened the 30 seconds or the 1 minute before on that session, on that specific person. So now the team is looking into those details to try to understand what's going on and see what can we improve and how.
Cool.
And the last question, when will it launch? So it's full transparency. It's way too soon to say it. But what I can say is that we're working on it. We're already working on it. It's not like we make the decision now and the team will start working on it. Now the team has already started working on it quite some time ago. It's a huge work. It's really a big work. So often we use the metaphor internally when we explain that when we do a patch on a live game, it's like when you're changing the tire of.
That's actually coming from Rainbow Six.
It's coming from Rainbow, and we stole it. We steal many things from Rainbow, and so it's like changing the tire of your car while driving it. Now we're not changing the tire, we're changing the whole engine of the car, basically,
Right.
and it needs to go at the same time.
And yeah, I think we've explained a few times in the past, the game was really built around our current P2P architecture from the beginning, so it's a real lot of work.
So basically, how the game is built is based on two technologies. The first one being the simulation. So the game runs with a deterministic simulation, and that's thanks to that we can do the 4v4 fighting game. So it's the fact that everybody runs the same simulation on their client, and we just send the inputs, and that's how we can make a low bandwidth, etc. And on top of that, there is another decision that we've made on the past, that was the peer-to-peer. To have people speaking to each other, and so it's a mesh peer-to-peer. Everybody is speaking with everyone to have the fastest route. Now, with what happened, we decided to move to dedicated server because that's what we think would be the best for, especially for 4v4 mods. So we don't know yet when it will launch, but also what people have to know is that it will be progressive. So we'll do things along the way. We'll use, of course, the Warriors Dance to say what's next, to check in, to give updates on that work also. And it's, voilà, basically.
I think to rephrase what Roman said earlier, I hope it shows to people the commitment of not only Ubisoft, but our team to the game.
Yeah.
You know, there's the very annoying people that pop in. I don't know why they're still on our Reddit or Facebook, but they always pop in like, game's dead, who cares? The game's not dead, and a lot of people care, and we're going to continue to make it better. So this is just another example of that.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to take some time. That's not a thing you do to a dead game that you don't care about, that you're cashing in on.
And that you don't want to support anymore.
Right.
But we actually care, and we actually want to support that game.
Right.
And so that's why not only we're continuing to add new content, but also we're trying to do what's best for the game. And dedicated server is one of those.
Yep.
And come up with new things like events like we did, and we have many things.
Cool.
Many things.
Good?
Good. I like it. I hope you like it too. Thank you for joining us for the news. I hope I delivered. It was funny. I wanted to be clear to people we weren't talking about the season 3 like new heroes this week, because that's, and they're like, yeah, they're just gonna talk about new ornaments. Probably some crappy new game mode. Nope. I hope we delivered, and I appreciate you coming in from your vacation to do it. And they're gonna stick around. Show's not over.
Yeah.
If you're here just for that news, that's the news. But we still have other stuff to talk about. We're gonna talk about the Hero series. We're gonna talk about Faction War, and we'll share some community clips and do some Q&A. So, thank you
Thank you.
Dedicated servers. Are you not entertained? Thank you. The chat just clapped. Yes, so gentlemen, I think this is, we didn't really plan this out super well.
But there are articles also about that, or I think we shared the full roadmap, so people who want to see back the full roadmap,
yes,
you can
perhaps
see it
on the
online,
UB blog.
maybe on our website. I don't know where it is, but I know it's somewhere online.
Yes, we will share that from our accounts when we're not sitting on this couch. But for now, I think we're going to talk about the Hero series, and I don't have a snappy transition for you guys to leave, but you can leave.
Okay.
So let's go. Let's switch over, Max, to the my beautiful. Oh my God, where is it? Beautiful standings. And in fact, everybody, Luke is not here this week. He's on a beach in South Carolina, sunning himself, tanning himself. But again, similar to Roman working on his vacation, Luke actually sent a recording so he could still do the segment for you today. So we'll see how this goes. Max, if you're ready to go, hit it.
Hello, Warriors. I'm not here with you today, but I want to talk to you about what is going on with the For Honor Aero Series, starting with Europe on a PC. Clutchmeister, with a first position this weekend, secured a spot to LA and now has 250 points in the first place against Solips at 175, who is very close to securing a spot, and Sophie Face in third position at 135, who will need a strong week 4 in order to secure her spot to LA. In the fourth position, we have a tie right now between SB Alerniken from Poland and Zebiofuse from Estonia, who both have 115 points. Moving on to the PlayStation 4, Jamel from France keeps dominating with a third win in a row, so he's making his way to LA. Félicitations, Jamel, you can start packing. On Xbox One, however, the race is still hot, with Arc 6712 with 200 points, That Junkie Pie with 150, Sniper Dead 98 with 140, and even H Daily with 125. For example, H Daily with a win next week could go up to 225 points, and if Arc 6712 or That Junkie Pie has a bad week 4, he could claim his spot to the final in LA. Moving on to North America on PC with Barras with now 250 points with a second position last week. So he secured a spot to LA. We have Bandana in the second position with 160 points. We have Scorebrand with 130 points. Scorebrand climbed from number 11 to the third place this week. Very good performance. Jal Jordan with 110. NRG Ice Skies with 100. Kiri TV with 90. Top 10 Enemy Fight with 80. And Play Friends with 75. All have chances to make their way into the top 4 right behind Barras, who secured a spot already. On PlayStation 4, Ravelord Servant with 250 points is practically untouchable right now. He would need to finish lower than the 32nd position during week 4 and Rikuto to win week 4 in order for him to lose his spot in the final. So things are looking good for the Canadian representative, both Barras and Ravelord Servant. On Xbox One, however, things are really interesting. Seraph at 225 points, only 25 points in front of XECS Destroyer, and Wartland Mike, who had a bad third week with 140 points. The most interesting scenario for week 4 would be for Seraph to finish second and XECS Destroyer to finish first. So both of them would end up with 300 points, and we would need to have a tiebreaker between those two great players in order to know who is coming to LA. In Brazil, BTU Lourenço is cruising towards victory with 275 points, 115 points ahead of Zarid at 160, who, by the way, created a breach in the BTU trifecta, who was number 1 to 3rd during the second week of the competition. So a lot of spots are still open for the For Honor Hero Series finally, which will take place on August 12th in Burbank, California. Keep fighting the good fight, guy. Still 1 week of cool competitions to go. See you next week.
Hey! Hey, thanks. Thank you, Luke. Thank you. Seamless transition from South Carolina back to me. And as we've talked about in the previous weeks with the Hero Series, you know there's also a caster competition where 2 qualified and lucky casters will be chosen to come out to the show in LA on August 12th to help cast it. So we've shown some of our submissions just to give people a taste, and we have another one this week. You still have until tomorrow to submit your video, by the way. So this is basically your last chance if you haven't done it yet. So this week we have a video from Vivid Naz, who is actually, he ran some tournaments and he came on the show a few weeks back to talk about the Reddit tournament. So he also did a submission for the caster competition. So let's check that out right now.
Hello and welcome to the For Honor Hero Series. Today you are joined by myself, Vivid Naz, on the casting couch, and as the Orochi playing in this matchup versus Rattan's Warden. This will be the best out of 5s between these 2 formidable players. The map that is chosen is the beautiful, beautiful Cathedral. Of course, these players have scrimmed a lot together, and this will be the matchup to decide who is the true winner. Emo to start off the fight from both opponents here, and let's see how this goes. 2 top lights come out there from Vivid Naz, and Rattan tries to retaliate with a heavy there, but not quick enough for the 2 top lights and the zone coming out from Vivid Naz. Crushing counter strike, very beautiful bit of damage there by Rattan into the side heavy there, and another crushing counter strike comes out just to finish off Vivid Naz. That was a very quick damage drop by Rattan there to take the first round in that matchup. Vivid Naz getting a bit too eager there, thinking that he had the better of Rattan, but Rattan coming out in very strong force to show him that, you know, just sit back in your seat, kid. I've got this handled. Of course, moving on to the next round, Vivid Naz needs to step up his play. Rattan's Warden is a very different warden. He likes to throw out those lights and doesn't usually feint that much compared to other wardens. There you go, to have it there, but the parry successful from Vivid Naz into the 2 top lights. Successful block from Rattan, but does not block the zone. Let's rip on the heavy again. I'm telling you, he loves doing those heavies, but feints on the second one. Another one there, but not quick enough for Orochi's top heavy. And the zone comes out there from Vivid Naz, looking promising, but the out stamina grab into the throw. But the light is whiffed from Rattan, but the second heavy is not. Just to go for the top heavy there, but successful parry from Vivid Naz into the 2 top lights to finish off the game and grant him the victory. Very well played there from Vivid Naz to bring back the round and take the victory on his behalf.
Great ending. Shout out to Vivid Naz, our Scottish friend. So Bio's here, which means it's time to talk about the faction war. This was a big week in the faction war.
Yes.
Season 2 has completed.
It's ended.
And not without drama.
Quite a lot of drama.
Before the
and
drama,
questions.
Let's give a little bit of congratulations to our winners. So Max, hit that. Oh, wait. Jeez. Congratulations to
really
the Samurai for winning. There it is. Congratulations, Samurai, for winning by a nose the Season 2 Shadow and Might, which is why we're wearing our shirts and everything.
Very close.
Very close. So let's get into that.
Yeah, sure. So last round was pretty intense. The Samurai were almost locked in. They had 30 territories. It's very hard to not win when you get 30. So no, the faction war is not decided on the last round because the Knights were already in a very bad spot. It was mathematically possible for them to win, but they needed the Vikings to attack the Samurai and not attack them. As if you were going to do that. We tried at least to save our honor.
Yes. Screwing
everybody up in the same time.
The Viking way.
Yeah, the Viking way, we fucked everything. Sorry.
Perfect.
I'm sorry. Not really. So it was a cool round. As I said, pretty intense. The Samurai, they deployed 74 million war assets in defense.
Okay. Which
is intense. Last round, they only deployed 68 million in defense. It just changes everything they do. They always attack. Now they defended, which is a good idea. So we went into the tiebreaker that happened. So I'm just going to remind the rules for probably the 17th time this week.
Yes.
Which is Whenever we're tied, is the faction that deployed the most war assets in the last round
Right.
that wins.
Yes.
The reason for that is that you fight till the end. If it was an all season, we might have a situation where people would have won
Be
the faction war
lopsided.
very, very early, which we don't want. And it's also the war assets modified with the amount of people in the faction. So this is also out of the question. We know, though, that we had some issue with our web viewer.
Yes.
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 Whenever people were going into the web viewer to see the results, they would see the result of the last turn and not of the round. We're sorry for that. We already are working with the guys that do the website right now, actually. Alicia, the designer on my team, is working on that with Benoit, the guy that does it. So we are into it intensively and want to make sure that everything's fine. But in the game, you actually see the right thing, at least. So we didn't mess everything up.
So to be fair to everybody who worked on both our game and the website, all the information at all times was always correct.
Yes, all the information is fine.
It was just that it was showing the turn rather than the round.
Yes, that's it. And I understand it was very confusing, and we will correct that.
Yes. So we've heard you. And hey, it turns out, even though they tell me every week they don't care about the faction war, turns out a hell of a lot of you care about the faction war. We saw a little spike in players.
For people that don't care, there was a lot of players at the last round.
Reddit was flooded with people. People
It was too late.
actually care about this thing, even though you like to say you don't, you do.
Well, people care about the faction. I understand that because I do also care about the faction.
That's what we want.
Yeah, but we'll improve it. We're going to look at what happened and make sure that it's clear for everyone. And we continue working on the faction war. I still have my job, so I'm going to continue working on it. Otherwise, I just want to say it's very fun because we had the conspiracy theory a few weeks ago that the Knights were going to win because they won
during the
in
PTS.
the PTS. And then now we have another one with the samurai being favorized because of hero bullshit. I would just like you guys to get on the same page with your conspiracy so it's easier for us to deny it. It's really hard. I'm confused. Or
too many
much
conflicting conspiracies.
It's like it's getting hard to follow. So just get on the same page with your crazy ideas, please.
Yes.
So yeah, and I think last thing is about the rewards.
Yeah. So sort of tied to this, the samurais won. And they were so happy, and then 2 minutes later, they all started yelling at me and calling me terrible things.
Normal day for you.
Normal day for me.
Normal day for you.
Yes, so there was some feedback.
Let's show it before. Let's show the rewards.
Oh, that's a great idea. Let's show the rewards in case you haven't checked. In case you haven't checked the game yourself, let's see what the rewards that everybody gets across all three factions, including the winner reward. So let's jump in. Yes, so tell me about the Death Emissary ornament.
The Death Emissary ornament has a metal name.
That is a pretty metal-ass name.
And a mill design also.
It's a metal-ass design too, actually. It's one of the better designs I've seen on an ornament in a long time.
I like it. So, the ornaments.
Yeah.
And I will say right now, you can all blame me. It's my proposition, and we went with it. So send the shitty feedback to me. I don't care. So we went with a different direction for the ornaments. We know it's not the best to change in the middle of the game, but we're alive, so we're trying to improve the game every time. And we went with having one ornament for all heroes, the same design. The reason for it is deeply that we want the season reward to be recognizable. in 2-3 seasons, we're going to come back to play on the dedicated servers. And all those noob that didn't play the game before will see, holy shit, that's the Dead Mystery ornament. So it's a season 2 ornament. You're OG, you're badass.
Right.
Because right now with the first season, it was impossible to recognize those ornaments as being season rewards. So you wouldn't have that bragging right. And this is what the faction war is about. It's about pride in your faction, pride in winning the season. So if the ornament is not recognizable for the season, it doesn't do its job. So we went with having a theme. So you can see the theme for the season is pretty metal with the ornaments and also the emblem outline, the dragon skull. We went with something very gritty and intense to fit the heroes and the mood of this season.
Right.
And we're going to continue and having themes every season that fits with it, having an ornament that's made for the season with an emblem outline that's being done for the season to make sure that people can recognize it and see value in winning that season and having that team to be celebrated with your hero.
So as we go along, people will see that season 1 was sort of a standalone in itself.
Yeah.
I remember there were even some early discussions I heard of almost not even considering it a season before we launched, because people are still figuring out the game, they're figuring out what characters, what factions. So I think the further we get, season 1 will be seen as like, oh yeah, that was like, it was still really early, yeah. But starting now and future seasons, it's really the idea, just to rephrase, because this is what I do, just in case people miss it. Like,
it's fine, I have an accent, it's okay.
Is to really tie to a theme and to really make your winning, make it something you're proud of.
Yeah.
And make it actually have some meaning rather than, no offense to the season 1 ornaments, they were kind of random. They weren't tied to a specific theme. So it makes sense to me.
Yeah, recognizable. That's
I know
the idea.
lots of you are not happy about that. And what I would say is we should have and could have done a better job communicating ahead of time. Hey, here's the plan for our season rewards. We like them to be a surprise for winning, but we didn't communicate the change in philosophy.
That's
So
true.
I'll take that one. But that is what it is, guys. So hopefully we can all move on together as a family.
I think it's a better decision. It's going to be cool. Next season, we will recognize it, and people will be proud of it.
Right. Cool. So thank you, Bio. Do you have any last words on how the season went?
It was a nice season. There was a lot of back and forth. I'm very happy with the involvement of the 3 factions. It was cool to see all the deserters from the other faction come and pollute the Viking faction. So we lost. But it's great. The involvement of the Knight faction and the Samurai faction, especially with, I know they have tacticians.
Yeah.
So I have feedback from some of them sometimes. And it's great to see their involvement, and it makes a difference. You can see that where you deploy war assets and how really makes a difference. And it was a cool season. We're very excited yesterday before the end of the season.
Yeah, it was exciting. It really came down to the very end.
Right, so it was very cool. So thank you, everybody, for playing. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, and we'll have you back next week to share some more about cool things coming to the Faction War next
Yeah, patch
season.
notes. And
But
stuff.
also to sort of cover for Damien, who decided he needs a vacation. So,
What?
so we won't have Mr. D on the show next week, but you'll be covering with maybe another designer or so. But thank you very much, and I think we'll do an outro for this segment with the Watch the War segment that our friends at the UB Blog put together.
The rousing victories, the crushing defeats. The time that one Centurion thumbs down so hard, he died. It's all coming to a head in the final round of Season 2 of the For Honor Faction War. The Knights and the Samurai have dominated this season, trading victories and coming into the home stretch with 2 round wins apiece. In this episode, we'll find out who will claim season victory and reap the rewards that come with it. I'm your host, Chris Waters. Welcome to Watch the War. First things first, the Vikings are last. Having fallen short of victory in every round this season, they are playing for pride in round 5, as even a first place performance won't lift them out of their 3rd place finish. But they came out swinging, taking 3 territories each from the other 2 factions in the very first turn, and showing a little bit of that Season 1 champion verve. Perhaps they were inspired by this moody berserker montage by Ambrose23. You got your slow-mo walking, your wolf head hat, your lightning-charged backflips, and a heapin' helpin' of two-fisted, double-stacked executions. Here's hoping for more of that next season. The first team to reach the ruler's ratio this round was the Samurai, when, in turn 17, they controlled more territories than the other two factions combined. Sometimes biding your time pays off, as Kombale shows us in this evasive shinobi clip. After stumbling upon almost the entire enemy team in a skirmish match, Kombale anime runs away from the pursuing foes, only to circle back around and smite one of them from above with a vicious somersault of doom. While that's not the way I'd choose to die personally, I think I'd prefer it to being drowned, which is what Kombale does to everyone else. The Knights answered back, however, taking 9 territories from the Samurai over the next 3 turns to take the lead in turn 20. Sometimes this kind of territory expansion is fueled by calculated duels, clever combos, and coordinated team play. And sometimes you just need to throw a bunch of people in the bin, like Merc X94 does here with some beautifully aimed shield strikes. A win is a win is a win, and the Knights were in the hunt for a win with a capital W. But so were the Samurai, and they put their tenacity on display in turns 45 through 48 with a powerful pushback of the invading Knight forces. Whiskey Mike 204's Kensei showed off the kind of grit it takes to fight against the odds in this elimination match, winning a taut 1v1 duel before moving on to a bigger challenge. After being on the wrong end of a Shigoki clobberin', Whiskey Mike pops up and starts swinging for the fences with that big Nodachi blade. Somebody get this slugger a contract. It was a hard-fought round and a brutal back-and-forth season. But even though the Vikings finally secured a win in round 5, your Season 2 Faction War champions are the Samurai. We now go live to the Samurai victory celebration where they appear to be, well, fighting, folks. Yes, Watch the War is now able to confirm those Nabushi are definitely fighting each other. Guess that's just how Rock and Rolla 583 and the rest of the Samurai stay on top of their game. Let's tell them what they've won, shall we? For third place, 3 Scavengers Crates and 3 Bronze Emblem Outlines. For second place, 4 Scavengers Crates, 3 Silver Emblem Outlines, and the Dragon Skull Emblem and Customization Symbol. And for first place, the Death Emissary Ornament for each of the 14 heroes, 5 Scavengers Crates, 3 Gold Emblem Outlines, and the Dragon Skull Emblem and Customization Symbol. We here at Watch the War hope you folks have had as much fun fighting the war this season as we've had watching it. I'm your host, Chris Waters, saying keep sending us your highlight clips through our official forums, linked below, and keep having fun out there on the battlefield as the faction war rages on.
Hey, we're back.
Link
We're
below,
back.
but there's no link.
No links, because that's actually a YouTube video. We stole it. Stole it from the Ubi blog. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, everybody in chat. Yes, I saw you. I saw the no one cares messages. People care. We proved it yesterday. There were thousands of you on our Reddit and in our game looking at the faction war. You care. Don't say you don't care. Just to be edgy. So, hey, let's answer some questions to our community. We have some that we have pulled from the forums, from the competitive subreddit, from elsewhere. So let's get into it.
Yep.
Okay. Amused T asks, how extensively do you plan to test the defensive meta fix to verify the new meta is good before making it live for all platform releases?
So, like we mentioned during the roadmap, we have the first PTS starting today. For the next season, we are going to test it. So there might be more PTS to test the defensive meta. The goal is from now on, all the major changes that we will make, whether it's on the fight system or big revamp of a character, etc., it's to test them first on the test environment before deploying them. So we're gonna test it a lot, and like I said, the goal is to release that during season 4.
And so one thing that was mentioned on the blog about the defensive meta changes is that what's on the PTS right now is a chunk of, like a first chunk of proposed changes with more to come.
Yeah, exactly.
So depending on how it goes over, we might see some of those in the game sooner, some later, depending on the feedback, right?
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
It's an ongoing work.
Cool. Okay, Epic Bacon Rar. When will we be able to have a hardcore duel mode? I had a ton of fun with the Hardcore Dominion event and miss it already. I think a lot of people did actually, by the way. It seemed to go over pretty well. If the mode is implemented, will there be rebalancing of characters like the Shinobi? Taking ranged damage from a character off screen can be annoying.
So there are 2 questions inside one, in fact. So first one regarding, are we planning to do other events like that? The answer is yes, and we might do other modes with the realistic,
The realistic modifier.
Modifier, exactly. What is for sure is that we don't plan to balance heroes for events.
Right.
It wouldn't make any sense.
Right.
So it's not something we were going to do. We accept the limits of an event, but we don't want it to have that as a blocker to do more crazy things during a few days on the game.
Cool. Okay, Medic Muffin. These are all from the competitive Reddit. Does the anti-run mechanic, great name by the way, guys. The
I'm not
anti-run
doing the
mechanic.
names. I don't know what you mean.
We didn't have any branding people on that one, I don't think, Pascal. Well, maybe it is Pascal's fault.
It's your name, Pascal?
Does the anti-run mechanic take into consideration that you can lock back on, throw one attack, and continue running away? It seems too easy as PK to run from a warlord, quickly relock, and zone cancel, then run away again.
So we think so, at least that's how we conceived it. Basically, it's based on an accumulation of a behavior, not on one specific behavior threshold. It's really an accumulation. So if you run, lock, attack, run, lock, attack, you have that accumulation that will eventually make the modifier kick in. So is it working in all the cases? That's why we deploy it on the test environment. It's to get that answer. Is it working on all the cases? Is it enough? Does it make the job?
Yes. So as a reminder, you can test that right now on PC. The public test is live. So let us know what you think. Okay, this is the same guy. No, it's not. It's Meme Lord. Meme Lord Thornbush. Good name. With the changes to parries coming to the PTS, will there be any changes to parry-oriented characters like the Lawbringer, reworks or buffs, or will they just be indirectly nerfed?
So like we said, the first goal of the test environment is to test those high-level changes and see what types of impact it have on specific characters. So we've made some slight adjustments to balance the obvious stuff, but the goal is, are those changes good? Does the impact the way in a positive way? And what type of impact does those changes have to specific character? And of course, after that, what type of modifications we have to do on those characters. So for sure, if we go on with the changes of the parry, we will have to rework some elements of the Lawbringer.
Cool. Okay, and this one's from the forums. Rikuto-san, does the parry after the defense meta update do stamina damage?
So in the test environment, sorry, there are no change to parry stamina damage for the moment. So not at the moment.
Cool. Final question from Camemberto. from the forums. What happens to match feedback, Damien? The little star thing,
The
rate
little
this match?
stars. You know, we have some people on the team that sometimes ask us the same question. So it's something we used a lot during the closed alphas, betas, etc. We use a bit less right now, but it's still something we can use. For example, realistic dominion. It's a good way to know if people like it or not, or things like that. So it's really it's a tool for us. It's something we gather that goes in our data.
Goes into the what?
environment.
Say it right there.
In our data world, and voilà, and we use that when we need it, basically. So yeah, use it. We look at it.
I want Damien's data world to be like a meme. I want to see what Damien's data world looks like. Well, great. That is our questions. As we mentioned at the top of the show, internet, for the most part in Montreal, is down. So we don't have a direct feed of the chat up here like we usually do, so I can't take questions from the chat. Sorry, guys. But we'll see them very quickly on Reddit and Twitter and Facebook and everywhere. But that's our questions segment. And now on to the community corner. We've got a bunch of pretty ridiculous videos this week. So let's jump into it if you guys are ready. Okay, from YouTube user Why Soup. This is a video. By the way, I went and I saw Dunkirk yesterday. Super visceral, amazing, hardcore, like, I was holding my breath the whole time. Tense movie. The dude next to me was drinking soup.
Yeah, I saw it.
Soup in a movie theater. Man, I should have. Anyway, okay, so Why Soup on YouTube. Daddy Kensei versus Baby Roach in real life. This is pretty cute.
No, al contrario.
Round one.
I love the Nobushi in the background. Someday, Damien, that'll be you. You'll be that Daddy Kensei. Okay, from our friend Tiff92 on Reddit. This one's great. Calculated. This one's a GIF. Yes. I don't know if he's becoming a specialist in this particular talent, but watch.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah, here he goes.
Yeah, I saw it.
Nice.
We should start having archery competitions. Well done, Tiff. Oh yeah, let it go. Yeah, let's see it again. Why not?
Nice skill shot.
Yeah.
Hey, boom.
Okay, and then we got another GIF from Dinkeldorf on Reddit. Who's legendary now? Yeah, this one comes and goes pretty quick. But let's just roll it again. It almost looks like the guy charges straight into the pit, but there is actually a push there. Yes. Good job, Conqueror. Josh on YouTube. Josh. This guy got the username Josh? Okay.
That's an achievement.
This is called Assist. Oh, it's 6 seconds long. Let's see it. Good Goki. Zetzoon on Reddit, we've got a GIF. When Thor gives you strength to execute your enemies.
What happened?
I don't know
that's
what.
a new effect.
That's our no physics mode. Our extra physics mode. Oh, hey, another one from Josh on YouTube. All right. This one's a video called Bye Bye. What were they doing? Another video from Stain Delight. Ooh, Stain Delight on Reddit. Lawbringer Magic.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Good, good. Bool Pool on Twitch. My arrow finds its mark.
No, no.
My arrow finds its mark.
No, no.
My arrow finds its mark.
Oh man, that is good. Okay, and our final, no, not our final, our second to final video from Zero Crack. This is good. You'll like this. This is the choke meta.
Yeah.
Dominate! Show yourself!
The end of the Roman Empire.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect.
Well done, Zero Crack.
Really good.
And we actually have a bonus video from Zero Crack that I think just went up last night, so we decided to pull it down. It's called Gundam Shugoki, and this is our final video.
ロームフェラ財団は平和の象徴的存在であったリリーナ・ピースクラフトを財団の代表として迎えることで人々の支持を得世界国家実現を正当化させていた。一方宇宙では植民地的支配を強いるオズに反抗しホワイトファングと呼ばれる武装市民が各コロニーで蜂起し独立運動を始めた。アフターコロニー195年戦乱の時代はさらに加速を続け大きな変動の瞬間を駆け抜けようとしている。
トロは戦場へ帰る。
けりゃくれてやる。こんな戦いを彼は望んではいない。
Got him.
So you wanna be hardcore with your hat to the back, talking about the gats in your raps, but I can't.
Well done, Zero Crack. He's assembling quite the collection of videos there, that guy. Amazing. So that is it for our community corner, and that's pretty much it for the show. I want to give a few shout outs. First and foremost to we created we created a subreddit for the PTS. So it's reddit.com/r/forhonorpts. So leave all your feedback there for the public test because we want to see it.
Right now.
Yeah, it's there. For Honor PTS. Also, shout out to For Glory. They do lots of tournaments, and they're running a tournament this weekend specifically on the PTS.
Ah, that's cool.
So we'll get a lot of guys testing on the PTS, which is
Really
great.
cool.
So to join that, it's battlefy.com/for-glory. And a shout out to Defend the North. It is bills itself as New York City's biggest fighting game tournament. It is this weekend in New York City. It's an actual live in-person event. You can go to defendthenorth.com to see how to participate and how to just go and watch if you want. They have the schedule up online. That's a cool event, so shout out to those guys. And that is it. And on the show next week,
not here.
Neither of these guys are here.
Nope.
But that shouldn't stop you from coming, because we're going to start getting into Season 3 content.
Oh, yeah.
So your first look at our new heroes.
The next week's will be pretty cool.
And we'll get into the patch notes for the Season 3 release as well. So there'll be some cool new things revealed next week. Maybe not as cool as dedicated servers, but pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we mentioned at the top of the show, not this one, that's the Knights one. We are now going to run a raffle. This is inside out. Anyway, we're wearing them. We're now going to run a raffle. 20 of you will be chosen to receive these shirts. So if you're chosen, you need to give us your address and your size. So you can begin the raffle now. And thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know if you guys have anything last you want to say.
No, play the public test too.
Yes,
please.
get into the public test. Let us know. And like Damien said, we will keep you updated as we progress on the whole dedicated server plan.
On the whole roadmap.
Yes. So thanks, guys. We'll see you online.
Thank you.